What's up, guys? Welcome back to La Conversaycion podcast, season 3, episode 2. Today we have a special guest once again, right? I always tell you guys it was a special guest because they are friends, family that I have, and I think they're special. I know this girl from work. She's my co-manager. It's not co-manager. She's a manager, right, from ANC.
Now I am.
And now you are. Here we go. Sofia Cordova.
Hello.
Cordova. You told me last time that you like your last name, so I'm gonna say Cordova.
I do love my last name. I was talking to Justice about how, like, when we get married, how I wanted to, like, add it in there.
Yeah.
Because I just, like Sofia Cordova, to me, is just, like, I don't know. It's just good.
You say it different, though. Say your last name again.
Cordova?
Cordova. I said Cordova.
Yeah.
You see it?
Well, I don't have any of,
right
like...
Cordova.
Yeah, you have, like, the flavor of the accent.
What? The accent?
Yeah, I'm, like, the most whitewashed when I pronounce my last name, but I still like it, so... But I was like, yeah, no, I want to try to add it. And he's like, yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
It's like,
what's Joseph's last name?
Sarabekian.
Sarabekian.
Yeah. So
Damn.
maybe like Sofia Sarabekian Cordova, but that's also long.
It is long.
Yeah. So like Sofia Elizabeth Sarabekian
Elizabeth,
Cordova.
you want to include the Elizabeth too?
It's my middle name.
I know, but just Sofia E. How about that?
It's true. Sophia E.
You barely use the middle names. I have Jesse
No.
James, and nobody barely
Jesse
calls me
James.
Jesse James from, a lot of people saying from Pokemon. Some people are saying from Jesse James from like the cowboy, you know.
Jesse James was a cowboy?
Yeah,
I
what
didn't
the?
know that. No, okay.
What were you gonna say? You thought it was a Pokemon, right?
Yeah, that's what I thought automatically.
You're one of them. You're one of them.
So-
Most of the people say it's because of the cowboy. There was a cowboy back in the day.
Oh.
But anyways, we went off topic.
Yeah, sorry.
Guys, so this is Sofia. She's been in AMC here and there, right?
Yeah.
I knew you. I don't know who hired you in the beginning.
Nicole?
Nicole.
Do you
okay.
remember
Shout out to
Nicole?
Nicole.
Yeah.
Yes, I do remember
Nicole.
Nicole. She hired you for a while, and then you were there for what? Couple months?
Yeah, a
With
couple
your best
months,
friend?
and then with my best friend Lexi.
You want to say shout out to Lexi?
Yeah, Lexi, my Gingy, love you. So it was just like back and forth between like college. It was my go-to workplace and then once I decided not to do school anymore, I stayed at AMC for a while until COVID happened, and then like a bunch of positions got cut. So I was like, yeah, we need to make money.
To make that money, make that
But
moolah.
I'm glad to be back at AMC. I love it.
Yeah, you know, I gave the shout out on Instagram, and I'm like, hey, I'm so proud of this girl that she's doing amazing out there. And I know you came back to AMC, and I'm like, what happened? You told me the whole story of them. I don't want to bash anybody here, but you know, but you told me the whole story of what they did to you, and it was kind of crappy of them, you know. But I'm glad you're here with us again in AMC, and you know, you're a manager now.
Yeah,
so it's amazing.
Everything works out for a reason.
Exactly.
I feel like
you can't just plan it. It's just you know.
I feel like I've grown up a lot too. And like that's why like with the other job, I don't want to bash them either, but like I will never regret going to the other job and coming back because I think it made me better at AMC to leave.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense, you know?
And it was cool like talking with Jesse again like before like when I was just crew. He was like, yo, like I want you to apply for manager, and that was like huge for me because I've always been with Jesse. Like he's seen me from like a high schooler to now.
I think
a
you
little
were
shit.
18, 19 maybe, right? You first started there?
Yeah, 18,
19?
Yeah.
And then, you were there for a while, and then you left, and COVID happened, and whatever. And you're, what, 20? I don't know. You want to discuss the age,
20,
right?
Well, 25. I went through my whole spiraling thing that everyone
You're sticking at 25 for a while, I heard, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you're with us at NBC. I'm so proud of you, of who you are. Okay, but anyways, being proud of you, we started to talk. We were having some training, but then we started to talk about the universe.
Yeah.
Right?
We had
So,
some deep conversations.
Deep conversations that even some employees there were like, I'm out.
Yeah, they were like, I can't handle this.
Can't handle it. Shout out to Xavier, by the way.
Yeah.
But anyways, so we're gonna talk about the universe, and this is our opinions, right?
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I'm not.
We're not experts.
I'm not experts. I'm not like that nerdy about it.
Yeah.
But I like to talk about it with somebody else, and
it's just like cool to like go back and forth you know?
Yeah.
So, and also to like my grandparents who are going to watch this, I'm not crazy. I don't believe in all
grandparents
this.
Are crazy?
No,
I'm you're crazy. Oh, okay.
I don't believe like 100% of like all the theories because some of them are just like stupid.
Yeah.
But I really believe like the universe is infinite. So there's infinite possibilities. So that's why I think everything's like so interesting is like hearing all of these different conspiracies or just ways that other people view the world is just like so cool to me to like dig in their head. So that's why I like it. Yeah.
No, yeah, like I said, we were discussing about it, and I was like, "What the hell?
Yeah.
I didn't know you liked that."
Yeah.
So, then other than long, we were also gonna discuss about anime.
Yeah.
A little bit of anime, Dragon Ball.
Anime.
And I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
I was not expecting that.
Really?
I really was not expecting it. Like, you know, you don't seem like a girl that likes anime.
I've
you know?
been reading manga since I was in middle school, and then I like switched it to anime. So Dragon Ball Z has always been like such a big staple for me that it's like something like I grew up watching. So like now I'm just like a big nerd about it.
We'll talk about that almost at the end. But anyways, so universe. Mm-hmm. We were talking about the light speed, right? Light years. So what was it again?
The speed of light.
Speed of light.
Yeah.
Speed of light.
So we got going into like time travel and like how space like correlates with that.
Yeah.
So it's just like, okay, so if someone on a different planet, billions of light years away, was looking at us right now through a telescope, they would be seeing dinosaurs. Like they wouldn't see us at all.
Right.
So it's kind of like in a way it's sort of like time travel. And that's what we're doing right now is we're looking at like as far as we can into space to see the like start of a universe to like learn from it. Actually, fun fact, we haven't found any start of universes. We're going like billions and billions.
But in this galaxy though.
No,
right?
in this
we have galaxies, right? Yeah.
But past this galaxy, we're going into other galaxies. Like it looks like other dimensions, to be honest.
Yeah.
Insert picture here.
That's a picture right here now.
It just looks like a wormhole into like other dimensions, and it's crazy. But we're looking for the start of the universe.
Yeah.
And they're reconsidering the Big Bang Theory right now because there's no proof of anything.
I heard of that, yeah.
And it's like the same way that we get like this creation of universes is the same way that we get black holes too, which also makes me believe that going into these black holes are just like other dimensions or other loops through time.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah, you lost me. No, I totally understand it. It just like blew my mind when you told me like that. And I'm like, tell me again. And you explain it over and over, right? But at the same time, you know,
it's just hard to wrap your head around.
Exactly, because I was watching also videos and I'm trying to like explain to myself like, how does this happen? The speed of light, right? Because do you know how much, you know, by miles, how long does it go by?
So I'm not sure by how much miles. I think it's like 1 light year is like 1 year. So I know like the Big Dipper, if you look outside and see the Big Dipper right now, it's like 13 like billion light years away.
Yeah.
And when we look up at the sky right now and see it, we're seeing it like 13 years in the past.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So the light, the stars, and the planets that we're seeing right now, they're not how they are right now.
Like back in the
day. They're like millions of years in the past.
Yeah.
And it's just how light travels that we like can see it. I don't know. It's confusing.
It's confusing. No, yeah.
It's confusing.
Because even the moon, right? Even the moon that we have it so close, it takes some time for that light to shine into our planet.
Yep.
Right. I learned like the sun. It takes 8 minutes to travel from there to here, and so it's been like, you know, it's like trouble in the future.
Right. So if you're like, just coming outside and like the sun hits you, that sun is.
It's been traveling 8 minutes.
Exactly.
Past. Yeah.
Same with our stars. Same with what we're doing with our telescopes right now. Yep. Like we're literally zooming with light, and I don't know. It's just that's probably why we don't see any like aliens either.
Are even aliens real?
Oh, okay,
well,
ready?
We're gonna go there?
Okay, let me look at my notes for a second. So this is like, I was Okay, so Elon Musk,
Oh
he said
my
this.
God,
I'm
okay.
sorry, I know he's toxic right now.
He's toxic. He's not toxic.
But he said that the universe is 13 billion years old.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So there's either a shit ton of aliens right now or none at all, which is each thought is equally as terrifying just because either they're smart enough to know, like, hey, this is Earth, they know nothing about our existence, so we're going to keep it that way until they learn about us. Or
Because they can't see us because they're seeing us from
Right.
like the beginning of the world, right?
Yeah.
Or like
who knows if
dinosaur,
they've been
right?
here?
Well, I mean, you seen those videos about like the pyramids?
Yeah.
Supposedly the aliens were here, or like giant people.
Right.
And they've been, hieroglyphics.
Hieroglyphics.
Sorry. Thank you.
Yeah.
And they're big,
Yeah.
right? So people are saying, like, how do they build all those pyramids and stuff like that? Even in Mexico,
Right.
Egypt, anywhere else in
Right.
the world.
There's some in oceans, like pyramids in
Right.
oceans that they found.
How?
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 Those are man-made.
There's no way.
There is.
There's no way.
Mermaids.
Flip that. There's no way. There's mermaids.
Okay, so
We're
hear me out.
skipping. Okay.
I know we're bouncing.
Yeah.
But have you heard of Hollow Earth theory?
No, tell me about it.
Okay, it's a really fun theory, and I don't totally believe in it. Disclaimer.
I feel like you do.
But it's a fun theory to see because it's basically saying that there's a universe inside our universe.
Okay.
So like that.
We're like in a bubble then?
Kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, you see like the thing sinkhole in China.
Yeah.
You know that big ass forest that they found?
Yeah, yep.
Like it was beautiful, and scientists were like, "Oh, there's species in here that we've never uncovered." And there's a volcano in, I think it's Brazil, where they found water molecules to be like inside, like super deep inside the earth, and it's said to have it could fill our oceans 3 times over. So with like all these like discoveries that are being made like inside of our earth, I feel like it's not like unrealistic to be like, oh yeah, there was like Yetis or Bigfoot or
Right.
like these big like majestic creatures,
And I believe that. I think there was,
yeah.
I mean, besides the dinosaurs, I think there has to be something else. An evolution took place, right?
Yeah.
There's things that we don't know. There's little things that we don't know. But I think I have heard about the hollow thing. And I heard that we only found a third of the earth, right? It's like earth and like the ice and like the Atlantic Ocean.
Yep.
That you can't see above, and there's a wall.
Yep.
And maybe beyond that, there's more earth or whatever.
Yes.
There's more worlds.
There's this like traveler who he was like an adventurer or like a scientist adventurer.
You saw the same video that
Yeah. So he was saying like, oh, like I went like over the wall and it was green.
Yeah.
And I like, that's like in Antarctica, isn't it? Like the North Pole. And it's just like crazy to think about. And he was.
But that's just one guy. You would think that there's more people out there that are saying the same thing, or are they getting paid by hush money?
I mean,
or they want to come forward.
I don't think anyone could really sustain going that far into the cold like that.
Yeah.
So if there's only few people in that area, and they all keep it contained, then how will we know?
How will we know?
Either there's a wall that we haven't crossed yet, so like the worst is yet to come, or we're already over the hump.
Maybe we're not even here anymore.
There's a theory that
There's
we're all
a theory
dead.
about it, right? There's a theory that we're not even here.
Yeah.
We're already dead, and this is a dream.
Right. Or like, you know, when life flashes before your eyes.
Yeah.
You know,
You're
like this
being
could
reborn.
be that.
Are you talking about that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. We're on the same page.
Yep.
I think.
I think so, right?
I'm telling you, you're freaking smart. You're smart about
I was
this.
telling Jesse, I was like, oh, like some things I feel like I can't verbalize very well. I'm not that like good.
you are. Even Justice is here. What do you think?
Doing good.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, actually, we're gonna take a little break from this. We're gonna come back to the paradox of, are we actually here?
Yeah.
Are we alive? All right, we'll be right back. Okay, guys, so we're back. So we're talking about, paradox, if we're alive or not.
Yeah.
So yeah, what do you think?
Well, also too, it like also kind of brings up the question of like the simulation.
The simulation?
Yeah.
We're in a simulation right now.
We could be. I mean,
I think we are.
Right here. Really? Like all together?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Who's to say we're not?
We're not. And me?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, I think we are. I mean, there's a possibility, right?
Yeah.
There's other universes out there, possibly timelines.
Absolutely. You know? I mean, if you think about it, the smartest men or women too in the universe. People in the universe.
She's gonna get canceled right away.
They all say like we cannot like confirm or deny that we're in a simulation right now.
Yeah.
They've all said it. There's a 50% chance that we are or aren't.
Yeah.
So this could also be the start of having a continuous loop of the simulation.
Yeah.
So if you think of like phones, TVs, how big they were and how small they are now, it's the same thing that's going to happen with VR. We're not going to be able to tell the difference between right here, right now and a video game.
I mean, think about it. It started with, I think for me, it was Sims.
Sims,
yep. Right? How did somebody create Sims?
I don't know.
It's a simulation about people, and you make them do a couple things here and there. Then what came after that? Roblox, Minecraft.
Yep.
Now you have
they have
Fortnite.
Their own languages.
Yeah.
And...
Now Michelle is playing like a roller coaster game.
Yep.
She's building, so she's a builder in her own world.
Yeah.
Why is that? Like I said, there's different universes.
Yeah.
Maybe that is a universe. She's building.
Exactly.
Roller coasters out there.
Though, who's to say those AIs are like intelligent lives? Like they don't. Who's to say they don't comprehend the same things that we do?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's the same thing with like computers. If you think of atoms, like say my phone right here, everything's made up of molecules. So my phone will be different from like it sitting here, just like sitting, than me looking at it. Like things just react different when you perceive them. It's just like how the universe is. The simulation and our senses, it's the same thing like a computer. Like our brain is working the same as a computer's does. Like everything that I touch, that I smell, it gets like transferred into energy.
Yep. Okay.
Back into me perceiving it and like functioning,
Yeah.
So who's to say that this wasn't created artificially?
So do you believe in God then?
So,
because it's a big topic right there, right? Because if you think that we're in a simulation, then is God controlling everything and God's angels playing the part of putting the pieces together, or what is happening there?
Right. So
it's a big thing right there.
It really is.
Yeah.
So my thing is I believe in a higher power.
Okay.
Whether you want to call it God, Allah,
Messiah.
Yeah. I think we're all kind of praying to the same thing.
Okay.
And I think this guy is like, these people are stupid to like.
Who's stupid?
Like us.
Oh, we. Oh.
Like look, they just split like their my religion into like different things.
Yeah.
I think we're praying to the like same thing, but people are like us.
They want to call
humans,
it something else. Yeah.
They want power.
Yeah.
That's what
they
Christianity did with the Bible. That's my biggest thing with like God is the whole religion thing and the church thing. Like organized religion is just so icky to me. I also have like a thing where I'm like, don't tell me what to do.
I think that's best for me.
Yeah.
And that's true. I mean, I think everybody wants to make their own assumptions of what's out there, right? And what's after life. And you don't know because nobody has come or never heard of what's afterlife. And that's scary. But I think it's not. You shouldn't be scared of that, because if you're really religious and you believe in God, you shouldn't be scared. Right? Or the higher power.
Right.
You shouldn't be scared of that, because that's part of life.
Right.
So
everything lives, everything dies. It's just.
I mean, when you squish an ant, do you think they were scared right there and then? Yeah.
Absolutely. I thought
but
I
they
would
were
shit
gone.
myself.
What about if they?
The fucking boot came down.
Damn. The ant, the spiders, and everything. But I mean, everything. Do you believe? What about reincarnation then?
So.
Because we talked about the light.
Yes.
And I think when we die, we reincarnate into a baby. And it comes out, and you have a different life.
Yeah.
I feel like I was a warrior back in the day. Now I'm a wimp. I'm a wimp probably right now. But before I was like, damn, I can slash and everything.
Yeah.
I'm into that stuff, even the anime, right? But the gory stuff, I'm like, oh man, I probably was a soldier. Somehow.
Like you feel a connection.
Yeah, connection. You know, because some people feel connections to music, some people feel connections to art or something else,
or being
right?
being able to heal people.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, like a doctor.
Like
that's my calling. I'm a singer. And why is that? I think it's because your ancestry was like that was you before.
Yeah.
You know.
I also believe like our soul or energy has to go somewhere. You know, like I'm big into like believing in ghosts too.
Yeah.
So, like, I definitely think there's a possibility that our souls stay here and then manifest and then can, once we do move on, we get reincarnated. And I think that's why we have some like demons, like poltergeists, is because their souls have been here for so long that any form of humanity that they had is just completely gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if our souls were trapped here, you know.
Can you imagine that?
Isn't that freaky?
Soul,
yeah.
It is kind of freaky, but then what do you do? Just stay there, But
I think the realization of death has to come, and then the reincarnation.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh wait, like I'm dead. Like I'm okay being dead. Like I fully accept it, and then you have the opportunity to come back.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. But who's to decide that?
Who's to decide? Is it me?
Is this a simulation where you didn't make decisions? I don't think so.
Well, with everything, I feel like there's like has to be a balance. So I definitely believe that there's evil in the world. So that has to mean that there's good in the world. Yeah. You know, whether that be God or whatever. Yeah. I think that the universe has its own way of balancing itself out. You know?
Yeah.
With like good and evil.
And the Doctor Strange, it was talking about if you had a dream, that dream was actually happening to somebody else or your other self, right? Or in another universe.
Yeah.
Do you think that's real? Because I don't think that's real. I think that's something that's going to happen to you later down the line. It's like a Deja Vu thing.
Right.
It has happened to me a couple times.
Yeah, Deja Vu is so crazy. I mean, did I tell you about the lady who I used to see in my dreams?
Nope.
So, okay. It's going to get weird.
Let's go. We're eventually going to the ghost stories.
Yeah. Well, there was this lady that I used to dream about, and it was always when something like really bad happened, was like about to happen in my life. And she was like,
oh yeah, you have told me.
She was
I think you were telling me about, you told him, and you were telling me about
yeah. And she's like completely stretched out, but like not proportionate stretched out.
Yeah.
Like she looks fucking creepy, and she has no face, but her like skin is like super wrinkly and like textured.
Okay.
And like, oh my God, she's terrifying. She has like white curly hair, but she always just like laughs at me and like tells me that she's like gonna take everything away. And that's like how I knew something like bad was gonna happen. And there was a while where I was like, I don't know if she's like good or bad, because like she's kind of like is warning me like in her own like fucked up way. Like, yeah, she's cussing at me. Like, at least I know like what's coming up. But like that's like sometimes I would wake up and I would feel like something with the house is gonna happen, or like something with my family is gonna happen, like that deja vu, like I'm ready for it. But it always happens like when I dream about her.
Interesting.
So like
has that happened recently?
Not for a while.
Okay.
I think the last time I saw her was when I was in Mississippi, because I actually got evicted from my house in Mississippi. It was a huge thing, and I dropped out of school. I just like completely like, I don't know. It was rough back then. And I saw her, and she was like, I got real close to her, and I like tried to grab her, and like I felt like my hands were on fire, like burning. Yeah. And like it's so weird because like I felt like I could actually like feel her, touch her. Yeah, like when she was.
Do you like remember like a smell that she had, maybe like a rotten thing or like something that you? Not
a smell, but I could like the thought of her voice, like I could still feel that.
What did she say?
Well, she was.
Cordova.
No, it was just like she would laugh at me and she'd be like, "Oh, I'm gonna take everything away from you. Like you think you're safe. Yeah. Like I'm always gonna be here watching, like that kind of thing." But like you could feel her voice like on your skin.
Okay.
And it's the only really like vivid dream that I would ever have would be her. So I do think that dreams are like an insight to what's going to happen, or
something might happen.
Yeah.
Or like a prediction, or like beware of this could happen, or be cautious, something like that.
Because people get normal deja vu where they're like do something and like hang out with someone. They're like, I literally just dreamed about this 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
yeah.
It's like,
and it could be
weirdest
something
thing.
simple or something specific that you're like, I remember this thing. You know,
Like got an A on a test, like dreamt about it years ago.
Yeah, for me it's usually roads I've been into. Like you know, I'm like, I just remember this, like this road at this moment with my clothes, like everything specifically, and I was just there already.
That's crazy.
But that's the thing, like dreams could be real, or deja vu could be like that,
or like a spiritual thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, I guess spiritual. But also, I mean, have you had something like somebody come in your dreams, like a good spirit or anything like that? Hold that thought. We're gonna go into a break.
Okay.
She's gonna tell us in a little bit, guys. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we're back. So we're talking about ghosts.
Yes.
Right? So we're talking about spirits too. So any good spirits that come by in your brain or dreams?
I always think, because I actually have a sister who passed away so my older sibling, Keegan, was a twin.
All right.
And they were like, I think 3 months premature when they were born. So I think they were supposed to be born in December, but got born in October.
Okay.
Or maybe January something. But she passed away because her lungs weren't developed. But I feel like, for me at least, like that is my good spirit.
Yeah.
Like that's out there, like guardian angel. Same with like my Uncle Lalo. Like I feel like those connections that we have to people are what bring like the good in our life.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you think those spirits are stopping the bad spirits from entering? And right now, like, you're settled.
Yeah.
And they're kind of, like, stopping that?
I hope so. I don't know what the fuck you're doing if you're not.
Bro, are you, like, just resting out there?
Right?
I think so, you know, because my grandparents passed away several years ago. And I dreamt about my grandpa. You know, he came by and was like, hey, take care of your mom, you know. And that day, like, the next day, I went to her, like, I hugged her, and we had some breakfast and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But he was like basically saying goodbye and stuff like that. But anytime like something's happening in my life or something like I'm going through a depression or something like that.
They always pop up.
I'm almost thinking about them, and it's just weird, right?
Yeah.
Because they just, I don't know where they just come up in my mind.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, just take care of me. Or
right.
hopefully just take care of my kids if they're sick, or you know, some bad juju stuff happens.
Right.
I'm like, hey, grandma, get her. Because my grandma was like a badass back in the day. So I'm always thinking of them.
Yeah.
You know? But
absolutely. My brother told me, he like came over to my house one time, and Justice can vouch for this too, when he like was freaking out. He was like, listen, like I had a dream and I met Louisa, that's our sister.
Yeah.
And Louisa died when she was a baby. So I was like, well, what do you mean you dreamt of Louisa? Like you dreamt of a baby? And she was like, no, like it was this person. And she said that she's watching us and she loves us. Okay. And that she, like, sees everything, but she has to go now. And, like, the dream ended. And my brother, like, woke up, like, screaming. And my dad came into his bedroom and was just like, Julian, like, I thought you were, like, choking. Like,
yeah.
I guess he was, like, grunting in his sleep or something. But he was like, no, like, I saw her. Like, I felt her.
Yeah.
Like, I could smell her.
Yeah.
Like, she was grown.
Yeah, she
like,
was
one
grown.
of us.
Yeah.
So.
And that's my other thing. Like, if you die, like, do you stay on your body?
I like to think that
persona,
you're like.
Or it's like a spirit, or like you were younger, or when it was your best moments.
Best moment,
right?
For sure. It has to be. Especially if you're going to heaven or whatever heaven is. Like, I would want to be the best version of myself if I'm going to a good place.
Yeah. But what if you're going to a bad place? You got to think of, I mean, if you're thinking of heaven.
Right.
You have to think of the other world, right?
Yeah.
But you have to be like a really shitty person.
I feel like you do.
Right?
Like, take another life.
Yeah.
Like, human life.
Yeah. But not even just a human, I think you need to appreciate all living things, right? But us as people, we don't.
Yeah.
And we don't
especially
think about
nowadays.
animals. Yeah. And maybe that's why people are going for like a keto diets and vegans and stuff like that, because they feel bad and they're like, okay, it's alive. But at the same time, it's meat. So
I know, I love meat.
Hamburger.
Yeah, we're Mexican, so
here we go,
yeah.
tacos. Oh.
But I don't know.
But I don't think that's the biggest crime. I think the biggest crime
sorry,
is
my
like...
stomach's growling. To your core,
Yeah.
it needs to be like,
Right.
you are, to your core, a good person.
Yeah.
So, no matter, because people do shitty things all the time. Like, they could be a good person and do a shit thing. I don't think that should define you. So, like, overall, as a whole, like, if you look past on your life and you're, like, happy with it, or you feel, like, a sense of, like, accomplishment, I think automatically it's, like good. Unless you're Hitler and your accomplishment was...
I want to talk about Hitler.
Okay.
Because, good thing you brought him up. That's kind of cool. Not cool that Hitler, right? But time travel. If you had to go to travel to a space or a time, what would it be like? Let me see. Where
Yours would be Hitler?
No.
Okay.
No. Like, if you could travel, do you think people will go to a time where it will benefit themselves, or a time where it could benefit the world? That
I think selfishly, people will automatically want to go to, like, a time in their life.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. But think about it. If you go to that time, or if you, let's say that you're winning of the game or whatever it is, you're not going back to that reality.
Completely different reality.
It's completely different.
Like,
right?
Yeah.
I think about it. Like, you just creating another timeline.
Exactly. You know, it was Einstein who said that, because Newton was like, okay, time is an arrow and it just goes straight.
Straight, yeah.
But Einstein said that time is actually a river and it forks off and meshes back into each other. And that mesh that you're talking about could be fucking, like, destructive, you know?
Yeah.
So, and it could, like, open up something. I don't know what, but, like...
We'll see in Loki 2.
Right. Loki 2? Yeah.
I mean, Loki has a bunch of references about that. So, even with Doctor Strange, right? And Spider-Man, but... Why are they talking about it? I mean, it's comics.
Right.
But, I mean, not just comics. I mean, a lot of people have been talking about it. It makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, it makes sense. If you could travel and you change it, you're going to it comes to a different timeline.
It splits. And I don't know if there's a way I don't think there's a way for you, if you're time traveling, to go back to that original one.
Yeah.
Because you just fucked up by jumping in and then...
Making a loop.
Yeah, making a loop.
Yeah.
So you can never go back to how it was before. It just divided completely.
Yeah.
And you have to figure out which one you want, you know?
It's true. It's true. So, but back to my question. What will you change? What will you do to yourself if you can go back?
That's crazy. Honestly, with, like, my life in general, I probably wouldn't change anything.
That's what people say.
Yeah. Oh, well, because you can't.
Why not?
Because it's right now for us.
Let's just pretend
Okay.
that you can.
Honestly,
I feel like there's a fight coming up later. With Justice and Sofia later.
no. I think it would be cool to go back in time into, like, the, like, women's rights movements.
Okay.
And, like,
women's rights.
Like, race stuff. Like, I feel like that was a time in our life where we were like, oh, okay, like, I'm going to really fucking fight for this. Like, this is wrong. I'm going to band together with all these different people, different cultures, and, like, figure it out. I just think that's, like, a beautiful thing in general, especially with, like, the whole Black Lives Matter thing that happened. I know, like, there was certain, like, groups that, like, ruined it, but I think ultimately it is a beautiful thing, is, like, coming together with, like, different cultures.
Yeah.
And discussing different points of views. I also kind of, like, want to see, like, how things used to be, like, with, like, my grandparents, like, back in the day.
Yeah.
Because my great-grandma, I have 2 great-grandmas, and they're both over 90.
Yeah.
So they remember, like, all of that stuff. So it would be cool to, like, see it through their eyes and, like, be like a badass woman. Be like, I know everything. you know?
But I think they're telling you their versions, but there's other people, there's other women that suffer more than probably them. I don't know the stories.
Absolutely.
But, and I think I wouldn't want to go back to seeing my grandparents or stuff like that because I would feel bad, you know, that something's happened to them. But it is part of history, right? Yeah. It just depends who you were back in the day. I mean, if you were strong, great. If you were not, you were just smashed. So, what can you do?
I don't know, because...
But you just want to be there, though. You don't want to change anything. You just want to see it, live it, and come back at 90. You're like, I was there.
Right. Because me personally, like, I would be icky about, like, touching anything because I feel like everything happens for a reason. Yeah. So... I think it would be cool to stop the Kennedy assassination because I think he could have done more.
He could have done more
to benefit us. Yeah. Oh my God, we wouldn't even have Trump as a president if we had Kennedy. It would have just been solved.
I just don't, man.
He was really going to revolutionize us. Yeah. I think that would be the only thing that I would really stop.
Yeah.
I don't know. Especially, I think we were set back just in general with like the whole Trump thing, like in the just like racial fighting that's been going on.
Yeah, because that came back.
Yeah, and even like...
And it didn't come back. It was there, but he kind of like...
amplified
it. You know? Yeah. He was poking at the bear.
It was awful. And like, I literally, in high school, I was watching this. I was like, I'm not worried. Like, I'm not going to vote. Because I was old enough to vote, and I didn't because I was just like, it's going to take care of itself. Like, no way anyone would vote him. Yeah. And they did. Yeah. And I was like, wait. Like, all of like... the stuff that I learned in government for me, it just like went out the door.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, because I used to watch him on like I saw an episode on wrestling because Jesse watches wrestling.
Sup?
Yeah. So I watched him. Do you remember that time when he came to the ring and he made money fall on like the ring and everything? Money. That's how I knew him.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I knew him because of a show on MTV.
Or
another
The Apprentice.
Station. The Apprentice. Mm-hmm. That was it. Yeah. That's where I knew him. Then eventually WWE.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, maybe a celebrity would do a change, but not him.
Not him.
Not him. But
fucking.
Everybody happened. We'll see what 2024. You know.
Yeah. Well,
he's gonna run again, supposedly, but he's in some legal bullshit right now. So who knows?
Who knows? Like, good riddance. I hope he never comes back. And I'm proud to say it. So I don't give a fuck. But. I voted, it was my first time voting. Yeah. And I told my family, because I voted for Biden, and they were like, oh my God, Sophia, you didn't vote for Trump? And I was like, fuck no. No way. Like, regardless if Biden's good or not, still, like, better than the racial, like, inequalities that we've been having. Like, at least we get, like, some unity going on, like a break.
It's about time, exactly. Especially in 2020 when everything just went down.
It was awful. Like, we watched our cities burn.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, right over here. Like, it was, like, 30 minutes up the road and then an hour to Chicago?
You never thought it was going to happen here. Yeah. But you said that you wanted to be there when your grandmas were there, so you kind of were there.
I guess I
not
was.
there, but we were there.
We saw our
own. And we're gonna talk about this when I have my kids.
Right.
You guys have your kids. Yeah. You're gonna say something about it.
When we're old, we're gonna be like, Sonny boy, I was there. I watched all the TikToks and the Twitter feed. What is 2020, Grandma?
Oh, I don't want to talk about it.
PTSD.
But yeah, that's time traveling. It's crazy. It's time traveling and changing facts and stuff like that. So it's crazy. It's crazy.
I'd be too scared to change anything. Would be my answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think if I could change something, is my academics to go to school, and that's why I tell everybody. Like, if I don't know if you noticed, but when I tell people and I work, I'm like, hey, stay in school, go to school. Like, school is important. Call off or have somebody cover. Right. You go to school. You know, because I think the academics is pretty important.
Right.
But it's up to everybody's decision.
Yeah, absolutely. So. Even just like, I always tell our crew to at least try going to a university for like a semester, a year or something. Because I learned so much. Like, before I would just like put all my knickknacks down and then just leave it. Yeah. Like, if it's fucking dusty, I'm not even touching it. I have to clean and wipe it down. I was pissed the first time I realized all of that. But like, it does like give you a lot of like your core values and just like your habits.
That's true.
You know?
But just getting out there though.
Yeah.
You just even
being independent.
Exactly. Not having your parents to pay for something that you want to work for.
Yeah.
You know, so
fuck up, make it right, fuck up again, make it right, fuck up harder. Make it okay.
You're still gonna come back home probably.
Right.
But at least you learned your lesson.
Exactly.
Right? You got whipped with the world and you know.
Life just fucking demolishes you, but that's just how life is. It never gets better. You just get better at handling it.
Yep, exactly.
That's what I think.
It's a better lesson than anything else.